What's going on, guys? Don over at Rei Automation Squad and Easy Button REI. I just wanted to talk a little bit about what the two companies are, what we have to offer, and we'll even then go into a little bit of a demo on Beast Mode and give you what you expect after ordering, what that timeline looks like, and if it is a good fit, what that looks like. If it's not, what might have for you with our simple CRM that we have. So. REI Automation Squad is our CRM company. You may have heard me talk about Easy Button REI, which is our sister company in support services. So I'll just talk over what REI Automation Squad has to offer. You can see I've got the website up here, reiautomationsquad.com. Under the products and services, this is where you can get your Beast Mode CRM, additional users, and some other products and services that we have. Under social media, obviously we have our group and some of our screen names for both the YouTube channel, Facebook, and Instagram. Training, we're going to have some different items that you can click on. You can see here we're going to be building out a free training library right on the website. Free tools kit, this is going to be over at our sister company. It's a direct link, and basically what it is we go over some of the services and software that we use and why we use it. It's got videos that are quick and 4 or 5 minutes long, just kind of tell you exactly what we're using and why. Training portal, this is going to be for our Beast Mode members. Click on that and register in there, and you can get access to the video training for Beast Mode CRM. You and your team can access that. 21-day free sales training. This is our good friend John Martinez over at Midwest Rev. And so this will get you into some sales and acquisition training for free. And then if it's a good fit, obviously jump over and see what else he's got. He's got a great platform that's over there for sales and acquisition training. We've bought it ourselves for our sales guys and highly recommend it. So take a look at that. VIP membership, this is over at Easy Button. So what it is more of a one-on-one with us. If you've got some issues that you're working through, got your stucks, got questions on marketing, how to track things, software questions, we do a weekly call on Zoom, and it's more of a one-on-one, getting your questions answered directly from us at that point. So check that out. Recommended resources, this is basically a laundry list of the stuff that we've been asked in the past. So where do you look for your list? Where do you go for direct mail, skip tracing, ring lists, cold calling, all that stuff that we do in our business? What do we use? Why do we use it? Click on those links. That's what that'll provide to you. I will tell you up front, some of the stuff is stuff that we own. Other stuff is affiliate links. But I will tell you, it is nothing where we're providing access to it or recommending it and we have not used it. All this stuff is stuff we've used and personally have in our business. So it is stuff that we use and recommend. Support, if you are a Beast Mode member and are looking for the Academy with training videos and or submitting a support ticket, you can go ahead and click the different buttons here to do so. So you've got your support functions there. And sign in. So after you've ordered products or services on the REI Automation website, you can sign in and adjust what you have purchased, whether it's a monthly subscription or trying to add additional services. Before I jump into ordering Beast Mode, what that looks like and what to expect, I'm going to jump over to Easy Button. So Easy Button REI is our sister company and support service company. If you click on services offered, there's some different things there. Again, social media, points of contact, things like that. And then if you scroll down, you've got our video that kind of talks about what we do and why, some of the testimonials. And down here you have the VIP and the free tools course that we talked about. So again, Easy Button is going to be our support service stuff, and then REI Automation is going to be the Beast Mode CRM. So if I click on the order link, you're going to see the stuff come up, specifically Beast Mode CRM and additional users. So if you click on this, you can order Beast Mode CRM. If you click on this, this is adding additional users, and then you see some additional things that we offer. So clicking on this will take you to the next screen, where at this point you can kind of read a little bit about Beast Mode and then either add to cart and proceed, or if you're having additional questions as far as some testimonials, what other people are saying about it, on our main screen here, if you just scroll down, you'll have some testimonials to include some screenshots that'll load here in a second. There you go. There's some of the screenshots, testimonials and stuff right here on Beast Mode, some of the episodes that we did. And we've got a couple videos here on testimonials of people that are using Beast Mode from us as well. This will tell you what you're getting with Beast Mode. and then demo video you can click on down below here and get some additional information. So you see that, that's where you can get it. What does beast mode have? What is it for? You know, who's a good fit? For our recommendations as far as who's a good fit with beast mode, it is a paid monthly membership. So not recommended for a beginning user that has to make a decision. Do I spend money on marketing? Do I spend money on a CRM? Marketing all day long. Do not buy the CRM if you're trying to make a decision between the CRM and sending marketing. Always get that marketing out there, being consistent, and then after that, once you've got some consistent deal flow, whether that's 1, 2, 3 deals or more a month, then it's time to maybe look at tracking your numbers, knowing what's working, what's not working, and sending out that marketing on a consistent basis. You can start tracking it with the Beast Mode CRM. So Beast Mode is for those that have some consistent flow or have the ability to pay and have the understanding that they need to get that marketing out and they can afford tracking. So for me personally, in my day-to-day job that I had, I made really good money. I didn't have a lot of time, so I could afford to send the marketing and I could afford CRMs, things like that. So personally, I started off with both, but that's not always the case, and we understand that. So what we did is we created what we call Simple CRM. So if you go to YouTube and search Easy Button REI, you can go over and click on Simple CRM. What is it and how to sign up? That is our free version of Beast Mode. And so what that will do is get you started to where you have a Podio-based free version where you can track all of your sellers, your properties, and things like that, and get them into one spot and have access both on your computer and mobile because they have an app. So if you're just getting started and don't have the funds, check out the Simple CRM. If you do have the funds, you want to track your numbers, you want to have automated follow-up, CEO dashboards, reporting, and some other things I'm going to list off here in a minute, then Beast Mode might be a good fit for you. So go ahead, click on the order link. After you've gone through and ordered it, what's going to happen is you'll get an email. And I'm going to bring up that email here in a second, and then we'll talk over some of the things that Beast Mode has. Okay, so I've got the email that is going to be sent out right after you order Beast Mode. So take a look, make sure that you're looking for this. What it's going to be is Beast Mode CRM action required. So that's going to be the subject line in case you're trying to search for it. Junk spam folders, check them, make sure that it's not there, but typically it makes it to that inbox. It's just going to thank you for your order. And then it's going to tell you, welcome to the family. The following is needed from you in order for us to set up your workspace. So we need your Podio user email addresses, CallRail login credentials, RVM, OnCaret if you did. So you see these are optional. You can make those purchases if you would like. Do not need to, so take that into consideration. Additional information on what we're asking for. So if you don't already have a Podio account and you're not sure what that looks like or where to go, you can click on this stuff and it'll have video walkthroughs and tell you how to do it. So there's the Podio stuff. The number 2 here is CallRail. Tell you exactly where to go, video walkthrough if you don't already have it. Easy Button RVM, which is the drip follow-up. Again, sign up link right here. That'll get you to where we can get you your RVM follow-up drip setup. OnCaret, so signing up for OnCaret and what that looks like. And then the last part here is the CRM, additional users. If you want more than 3 users, you can again shop and buy more users beyond the 3 that come out of the box. Each additional can be bought right there. So this is what it looks like that you should be getting an email immediately after you purchase on the website. So after the website, under the order section, when you went through and purchased Beast Mode, look for that email. That email is going to tell you we need that to be sent to us. We need to have an email sent to our support desk, which is there, and it's got to follow that subject line with your name at the end, and in the body of the email, it's got to have that information. Doing so triggers our support team to then go ahead and start setting up your workspace. 3 to 5 day setup time at this point. And so once they have received that, they will acknowledge your support ticket, respond back, and then they'll start setting up your workspace. Once they're done, they will respond and let you know your workspace is complete, you've been added into it, and you're ready to go at that point. What'll happen is they'll provide you a Zoom link to schedule a one-on-one Zoom call for 60 minutes. And you can schedule that and we'll get on a call, talk over some top level stuff, talk a little bit about some of the marketing channels, things that you're using, make sure that those connections are good connections, that we've got everything set up kind of that makes sense for you. Any questions you got can get answered at that point and get you off and running at that point. Okay, so that's how Beast Mode looks and how to get it ordered. Now, what is in beast mode that you're paying the $167 a month? I'm just going to name off a few things. So CEO dashboard reporting. So if I go over here, you're going to see what beast mode is. You're going to see the apps across the top and some additionals that are down there. And you've got your CEO dashboard reporting. So your seller calls and your monthly properties by campaign that have come in, how many people you talk to per day, appointments, offers, contracts, closed deals, pipeline, and so on and so forth. So there's your reporting that you get to see from the main screen. All right, task list. Podio's got task functionality to create tasks for a specific member of your team, and then you can then either see the top level of all the tasks that are open here, or by workspace you can see tasks that are open here. And then the other recommendation is we talk about some other platforms such as Global Task List that you can manage overdue tasks by member, by workspace, organization, things like that. So tasks are able to be handled there. Podio just announced that there is a connection with Podio Citrix and Gmail, so you can actually create tasks directly in your Gmail account for Podio so that you have all that stuff in one spot. There's a built-in calendar. So as you have appointments and stuff coming up where your inspection periods are ending, you've got closings coming up, you can add them to the calendar, you can sync the stuff with your Google calendars, things like that, all an option. So that calendar is right there. It can be done with Google and Outlook and some others, so you have to take a look at that. Live answer, so live answer if you're taking live calls, and cold calls. Both have web forms. You can have your team submitting live answers or cold calls on the web forms directly there, and it will funnel ultimately into the Property Leads app based off of the seller's phone number. It's looking at the seller's phone number. If it exists in the property app, it'll create a new, or if it exists already, it will update the record that's there, update the notes, and you'll have the item there with the updated notes. If it did not find a match for that seller's phone number, it'll create a brand new item in the Property Leads app, and then it'll start pulling back based on the address that you filled in, the street view, and some of the comparables that it'll pull back, tax information, things like that, which it's pulling back. Okay, so that's live answer and cold call. Automated comparables. So we have connections to 3 different services right now: Zillow, Total View, eAppraisal, and some other stuff that we're looking at pulling in. It'll pull back some of the values that they have, both on the algorithm stuff that you're used to seeing, but it'll also pull back like sold link with Zillow, where it's actually got MLS data on that map for Zillow solds. Total View eAppraisal, again, has direct links where you click the links, you can open up for that property, and it will automatically take you there. So offer calculation. We do it based off of square footage. So low, medium, high. Low is basically paint and carpet. Medium is going to be paint, carpet, and maybe 1 or 2 things. And then obviously a high is going to be a full rehab. And you can control in your configuration app what each category is for price per square foot. So whether that's 8, 16, 24, or you're on the West Coast, East Coast, and full end rehab might be 50, 60 bucks fuller rehab, and then the other stuff might be maybe 20 and 30. So things to think about. You can control that and click a button basically saying it's a low, medium, or high. It'll multiply against the square footage, and it'll tell you a rough estimate where you need to be at with an offer. SMS directly out of the CRM. So in a property item, we can send out SMS right in the comments box, and I'll show some of the stuff here in a little bit. Automated drip follow-up. It's got content already built into the platform for ring list and text message. On the ring list, assuming that you purchase the add-on for Easy Button RVM, you'll have the ring list drip, and the text message drip will either go out of your CallRail account or we'll have a local number that we buy for you. Manage and control your contacts. So as you're going to these masterminds and RIAs, you have a contacts app, so you can start adding in other members that are in your network, whether it's realtors, attorneys, lawyers, title companies, title agents, things like that. You can add them all in here, and because Podio has a mobile app, you can have access to those different contacts at any point in time. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to open up a property lead item. So you can see there's an item here for the property app. That's the property app. This is what it looks like. So we've decided to build everything into one app to where most of your data that you're using and working is in one app. So over in the comments section, you can see you have your activity log and comments. And then in the Seller's area, typical information on the seller up at the top. Then you have nav links so that you don't have to scroll all the way top to bottom. You can click these and they will take you to the different areas, and I'll show you that here in a minute. After your leads manager has worked the item and assigned it to themselves, as they're the leads manager that works it. Obviously, if you have more than one, then this makes it to where you can filter by this person. Outbound call attempts, we're tracking how many outbound attempts happen and then what actions happen on the outbound call. This is basically your status, or what currently the filter is for it. So appointment set, offer made, under contract. This is what's telling you that that's the current status. One thing to take into account is our system is tracking who's clicking the buttons and at what time. So you have historical tracking as well. So you can always say for last month, last week, how many appointments set did we have, how many completed, how many offers made, things like that. And you can then filter by who is clicking those buttons. So that's one of the cool KPI type tracking things that our system does. We're big proponents of the EOS and traction model. As you're keeping track of your sellers and making sure you're staying in front of them, we use a date field that's called next contact date field. And this thing is basically going to make it to where this date field should always be filled in with a future date or today's date unless the item is dead. And that's basically making it to where there's a view that you can kind of see your stuff out there, and it'll automatically populate with today's stuff. And it's basically showing you that today you have, let's say, 10 follow-ups or 10 contacts that you need to make because of this date field. And that's keeping you in front of everybody and making sure nobody falls through the cracks as long as you're using that contact date field. Quick SMS, you can send out quick text. This is an add-on option. It's free. You just got to ask or request to have it turned on. Basically what it does is we can make it to where if your leads manager is making a bunch of calls, and let's just say quick text says, hey, I just left a voicemail. This is such and such from home buyers. She can click that button and it will send that text automatically. She doesn't have to type it, and you don't have to worry about spelling errors. So there's that. Our system allows you to assign a team member that should have the task going to them. So if you have somebody that gets the task every time a missed call happens for a seller, or a text message, or a new web form, or Sherpa item, or any of that stuff comes in, that's great. But oftentimes if an appointment is set, you have that one acquisition member that's working it, and they should really be the ones calling back or talking to that seller because they built the rapport. Put their name here, it overrides the system, and now moving forward, this person always gets the task. Okay, you can see we're tracking the different types that come in initially. If a text comes in at any point in time, this little box is going to let us know that text has been received. We need to respond. Got a full communication log where it's going to timestamp, date stamp, all the things that have happened, inbound, outbound. Any calls that you received, any missed calls, text message, abandoned calls, voicemails, things like that, it'll be right here from CallRail. It's going to tell you the call type, date and time that it happened, and you can click on this and get some additional information. If it's a voicemail, you can listen to it right there. When you first come into your area, you've got your property section here. I'm going to scroll down and I'll come back to this in a minute, but you've got your property section, appointment section, offer section, contract, and then follow-up. So follow-up is going to be below your marketing section. Those are the different sections. It allows you to jump up and down by clicking these nav links, and at the top I showed you those links that drop you down to any of these areas if you want to. As you put in an address in your workspace or in your property lead app, you will then see that the map automatically fills in, the Google Street image automatically fills in, and the stuff is automatically happening as you fill in the address field. Okay, so you're going to have that stuff automatically happening in the background. You can see here that we brought back some of the data automatically as far as bed bath count, square footage, estimates on the Zestimate estimate as well, year built, and then tax assessments and what year it found it from. So that stuff is all automatically happening as you enter in your address. The other thing that I want to show you is we talked about some of the offer links where it brings back values. You can see it brought back a value, but TotalView, eAppraisal, Zillow automatically create links for this specific property. And so if I open up a new tab with a Zillow, it's going to be Zillow Solds link, which includes MLS data and some other additional information. So just give us a second. I'm going to close this tab, and we'll be able to see the map with Zillow Solds, where it automatically basically created this link for you without even having to think about it, based off of what address you filled into the map address. So all that's happening in the background without you having to do anything. So it allows you to hand the stuff off to some additional team members. So now you see you've got the different little yellow dots of stuff that's sold, additional information on some of these other ones. All that's an option, and it's already connected as part of the Beast Mode CRM. Okay. So you have obviously your property's information. You're going to fill in the different fields here as far as what it is, what type it is, mortgage information if you have it, additional notes right here. And then after that point, when you're setting up any type of appointment, you're able to input the date of the appointment, who set the appointment, who's going on the appointment, and then you've got the DISC profile types. So if you're teaching this, Tony Robbins has it for free on his website, but if you're teaching this, your phone person can then let the acquisition sales team know what kind of person they're going to deal with when they get on that appointment. Are they analytical? Is it an older lady that's going to want to talk a lot? Different types, obviously right here, you see that. The photos for when they're on the appointment, so we use Dropbox, but you could certainly use Google Drive or any other thing. Just put the link here. If you do any type of video walkthroughs, we put them on YouTube and secret YouTube video. You put the link there. Certainly could use any services you want, but we normally put a bit.ly link, shorten it up, put it here, and our disposition can then use those links as they're pushing it out, that contract for sale. Okay, offer section. You're always typically putting in an expiration date, at least we do. We want them to know that they've got to make a decision by XYZ or that offer's off the table. So we put an expiration date in. This date field shows up on the calendar that I showed you earlier. Who's the acquisition person that's making the offer? Put up their name right there. You can see some of the values. What will happen is it'll average out the values, and then you'll be able to click the different low, medium, high buttons. It'll multiply against the square footage, and then it's automatically going to give you what your cash offer roughly should be. So in the configuration app, you can fill in what your wholesale fee typically is, what your ARV is, and it'll fill in the estimated repairs, and it's going to spit out an offer calculation. And then your acquisition person fills in what they actually offered so that you can see any justifications for higher, lower, whatever the case may be. Under contract section, as you get your stuff under contract, who's the acquisition person that got it, who's dispo that's getting rid of it, and types of deals, the different step process checklist that we have. And then you start filling in, was the EMD confirmed, how much, where's it closing, what date, inspection periods, again, that shows up on the calendar. Scheduled date to close with seller. When did it actually close? Right there, closing date. What did you buy it at? What do you think your budget's going to be if you're going to rehab it? What are you selling it at? It'll give you a projected pipeline of what it would be if those numbers all work out as you say they will. And then ultimately, sold price. And what happens is after you fill in all these dollar figures with sold price and expenses, you'll go ahead and click the button for sold. It'll calculate gross and net based off of whatever expenses and things you filled in here. It'll start calculating the gross and net down here, and it'll push those numbers to whatever marketing campaign you have right here, so that if you're putting in what you've spent on marketing for that campaign, it will now push in what you made. So you'll know your ROI, your net, your gross, average per deal, things like that will all calculate automatically in the campaign app. Okay, automated section, you can pick a text drip here. You can pick an RVM drip here, and the system will automatically send out those drips. The content's already built into the system, so you can see that. The other thing that it's doing behind closed doors is it's tracking when this item was created, when you set an appointment, when you got a contract, and when you closed it. And now it's going to calculate the days in between all that stuff, so you know your cycle times to get stuff in the door and sold. All right, so that's the property lead app. That's the main app that we basically have. And this is why we built it that way, to keep it super simple. As an owner, you can jump in the property app, search a name, search a phone number, and you can get in there, see the current comments, current status. You know exactly what's going on. You're not having to bounce around from 4, 5, 6 different apps trying to figure out what the current status is and what's going on with it. So within the property leads app, there's views on the left-hand side that allow you to see your new leads, anything under appointment, under offer, under contract, and deals closed. So in the past, we've had questions of where's my whiteboard or where's my appointments. They're right here on the left-handed side. So any appointments that you have, you'll see over here. Any offers that are currently in an offer status, anything under contract, you'll see here. And as you close stuff, you'll see it there. So it's super simple. Just look on your left-hand menu there. Live calls are taken here, cold calls here, cash buyers can be handled here. We already talked about the network app. Your web leads, so if you're doing Facebook ads or on Carrot, we can connect that stuff and bring it in. On Carrot, we connect for you. 97 bucks connection, and then your stuff will automatically come into the web leads app. Ultimately, what's going to happen, especially if it's a seller, is it'll look at the phone number, it'll see if it exists, it'll update the notes if it does, and give you a task to review. If that phone number did not exist, it'll create a brand new item in the property app. So you're really only working the property app for your sellers. Have the ability to blast both text and ringless voicemail directly in the system to your property leads people, assuming that they've opted in and you understand the legalities that you need to adhere to for your areas and your markets. Any questions on those terms can be seen on our website under the terms section. Follow up, you can see your content right here for your ringless and drip sequences for the text messages. We also have the audio files for ringless voicemail available, both on the training platform and the Facebook group that we have. Your metrics and KPI tracking is automatically happening in the app data area. All your campaigns should be here in your campaign tracker. That's where you're going to see what your spend was on your campaigns versus what your return was. As you're adding team members and being able to tag who the leads manager, acquisition, disposition people are on the different property items, you're doing that from your team members app here. And then the training area is really just for you. So the training area is for you to put in any videos and processes that you have for your company, your team. This is not where we put our training. Our training is located on the academy that we talked about earlier. Configuration app, this is where you would manipulate some of the text messages and things that go automatically to missed calls. This is where you can control task management for users. This is where you also have connection points to CallRail and some other things. All your incoming calls, all the seller stuff comes here from CallRail. All the buyer stuff comes from here. This specific one, you can see we've got the Lead Sherpa add-in. So we've got some different add-ons. The Lead Sherpa add-on does not cost you anything additional. You just have to request it. So if you're a Lead Sherpa member, just send it in a support request and let us know your Beast Mode workspace name and your credentials for Lead Sherpa. Send in a support ticket request to have that set up and connected, and the automation will then be installed. So what's going to happen is all your Lead Sherpa stuff, when you push it in Sherpa, we'll go into this app first. We'll look at the property leads app again, see if that seller's phone number exists. If it does, we'll update the record and set a task. If it does not, we'll create a brand new item and set a task. So that's Sherpa. Some of the other add-ons that we've connected and I wanted to bring up. Lead Geeks for cold calling, Lead Gen Pro for cold calling, Pat Live for live answer, Call Porter for live answer and cold calling. OnCarrot we talked about for the websites. Lead Propeller we've connected as well for the websites. Smartphone and Smart Dialer are the recommended click-to-call functionality, so that you can click a phone number in your seller phone area and outbound dial and track those calls, both inbound, outbound. So smartphone, our members have pricing breaks to that. So ask if you're not familiar, but in the Training Academy as well as the Facebook area, we've got a specific link that'll give you a pricing break, and you get immediate access with us. Whereas if you go to their website, you're going to pay a little bit more, and you're going to have to wait for them to approve your account. That usually takes a couple days. So just take that into consideration. Smart Dialer is a 4-line dialer, so that's their platform. Smartphone, Smart Dialer is their platform. 4-line dialer, you have some apps where you upload your lists, create your campaigns, and we have some training videos on that in the Academy as well, and how to use that Smart Dialer. Okay. If you're using Call Tools, Mojo, ZenCall, all those can be used, and the way that they've been used in the past is the web form for the Cold Calls app is when somebody raises their hand saying they're ready to sell or they're thinking about selling, you put them into the Cold Calls web form, and that stuff comes into the property app or property lead app. Eventually, it pushes forward in 30 seconds or less. So that's the options there. Just wanted to talk through them. Hopefully that lets you know kind of some of the automations, things that are available, of what Beast Mode has to offer. Again, if that's not a good fit for you and you're not just there yet, that's okay. Simple CRM might be a good fit for you. Good starting point. No automation there, but at least you can put all your information for the seller and property and your comments and stuff all in one section or one area. If you're going to use Simple CRM, I'd recommend not using the comments box, but using the additional notes field. So if you do that, we can move over all your data when you're ready to move up to Beast Mode CRM. So Comments box, wouldn't use that. I would use the additional notes field that is in the property section, and that's right here. So put your notes there. We can move that stuff over to beast mode when you move up. We already talked about easy button REI, already talked about what you should expect after ordering. So take a look for that email after you've ordered the beast mode CRM. And once you've gotten that, please just respond and send in your support ticket request. At that point, we'll acknowledge it and we'll go ahead and start setting up your workspace. Any questions, concerns, please address them with support. If you are a member, our Beast Mode members then have access as well to the Facebook group. So if you're looking for support, you can get that through the Facebook group for how-tos in the discussion section. Post any questions you have there. If you're trying to find any kind of training videos, the learning section's got some training videos as well as the academy that we talked about that you can log into. So take a look at that stuff. Obviously, you can see here we've got some different items in here that we post specifically to our Beast Mode members. You've got some topics that you can filter through easily by these different tags that we've got on them. And that's for our specific Beast Mode members. The access is limited to our current CRM member. If you are a current member of Easy Button or Simple CRM, we have Easy Button REI's area as well on Facebook. So ask questions on the software that we recommend, things like that here. And then any questions, address those with support by either reaching us at support@easybuttonrei.com, or you can reach us over at Rei Automation Squad at support@reiautomationsquad.zendesk.com.